What's up, guys? Hanging out in the fish room, and I have this little desk here in the corner that I do a lot of my editing on and checking over all the questions. And anyways, I was sitting here thinking, reading questions. This is kind of off topic, but I have the dehumidifier above there, and there's two 75-gallon tanks here stacked, and a 40 below and a 20 on the side. But I was thinking, why don't I just remove this dehumidifier and put a 6-foot tank right there and just build into the wall there to where it would hold it, and I can still continue to have my little desk in the corner, because I like to have the dehumidifier higher because then it just gravity drains a lot better. But that's a whole other side topic. I'm gonna do that though because I've learned that 6-foot tanks are the best tanks to have. Like, water changes are easier, water parameters don't change as fast, and the community tanks, like the big 6-foot tanks, like you cannot have enough of them. So today's actual video topic, I apologize about my ADD though, is on red devils. I've been looking through the laptop here, and even though I have a bunch of red devil videos, I'm still getting tons and tons of questions because I think red devils are really growing in popularity, and they're asking me to do videos on specific questions that would really bog down the channel. But what I did was made a list of things to talk about. I have where to buy red devils, the aggressiveness, their lifespan, their teeth, how much do they cost on average, what to feed them, and so a couple people asked who would win versus a piranha. Maybe you're talking about the video, the predator battle video series I did a couple months ago. Who would win on a red devil versus a piranha? I'm gonna go with a piranha, but it's gonna have to be like a same size fish. I don't know. Red devils can't actually do a lot of damage because they don't have they have sharp teeth, but it's nothing like to the level of a large piranha. Like a big piranha can come up to something and you're like, oh, it might take a bite out of it, and it frickin' and it's got a chunk missing out of it. Like, piranhas are insane. Not a cool fish to keep in aquariums, in my opinion. I have videos on that too, but let's get the topic here. I have some cool, I hunted out some other videos of red devils just because I figured the other videos were about my red devils, and why not check out other people's red devils. So, and there's also the weird crossbreeding between Midas and red devils, so it's kind of tough to actually find a true F1 red devil, but people need to appreciate crossbred fish because everyone loves breeding fish, and I find myself trying to breed my Midas, and I'm like, dude, you're just adding to the crossbreeding mess. But it's fun, and are we killing the prices of these fish? Yes. I'm gonna do another video on this coming up soon because people need to stop breeding certain fish because they're killing the industry with those fish. Like the doveye is one of them. We're rambling again. Let's get to topic, the red devil. Let's look at these vids. So here is a beautiful red devil. This guy hasn't even hit full adulthood yet, and I know that because when they do, that hump on the top of their head, also known as a cock, K-O-K spelled, it will be a lot bigger, and the fish will start growing a lot thicker, like in girth. And these things can grow up to like a foot long easily in aquariums, and they're heavy protein eaters. So, and you can also see that back top fin's got a nice, it will get longer and longer. It will start to like fan out on the males, and they're looking to breed, and that's why they get so aggressive. So on a scale of aggressiveness in the industry, I would say the red devil is one of the most aggressive fish. Maybe a more aggressive fish would be the doveye, but the reason it's called the red devil is, it's for a good reason, guys. And it's really common for people not to be able to keep these fish with any other fish, especially if you have a smaller tank. Like if you're keeping one in a 48-inch long tank, like the 55s or 75 gallons or 90s, you're not probably going to have good luck keeping them with other fish. And if it's other fish, it's going to be other like Midas or jaguar cichlids, or tough cichlids, umbies, something that's really going to hold its own, and you're going to have to watch every single day. And it kind of gets agonizing watching these fish, because one day you could come home and the fish is just dead because they gang up on each other, and it doesn't take long for a stressed fish to die. So you really got to watch yourself. What I'm actually working on is setting up a camera system for a lot of my bigger predators, just so that like when I leave at like a 10-hour span from my house, I can keep an eye on them through the cameras. It may sound dumb, but I'm an insane OCD fish keeper, and I hate losing big fish, or just any fish in that matter. So what else is there to talk about? Their teeth, they do have teeth, but we're not talking like a mouthful of razor sharp teeth like the dovii. It's more or less like I'm gonna find you guys some pictures of their teeth and some posts that I saw the other day of people getting bit. That's a really common thing too. When you clean your tank, you will probably get bit by a red devil at some point. Here's the best photo of the red devil set of teeth I could find. Here is a close-up, and here is a photo of a red devil doing some damage. I did a video on this a couple videos ago. Here is the still shot if you want to check it out, where a lady keeps a bunch of red devils in one tank. It's completely insane. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to give you a sneak peek here of her tank because it's super cool. And she has a bunch of red devils and midas together and a couple other cichlids, but it just shows you that these aggressive fish can live together. Somebody also asked where to buy red devils, and you can pretty much buy them at any fish store right now. I've even seen a lot of the big chain fish stores carrying them, which I don't necessarily agree with, because if you ask an employee working at these big chains about the red devil, or if you read the little tag on there, what tells you like the tank size and everything, it'll tell you like a 30-gallon maximum or something. Like, it never adds up for these big cichlids, because they should not be sold at the big chain pet stores. But that's my personal opinion. All right, the lifespan. Guys, it really depends each different scenario. I mean, if you have this thing living in a 40-gallon breeder and it's a foot long, it might not have the longest lifespan. So I've heard of some of these bigger cichlids living easily 10 years, but that's usually in a big tank with good water parameters, where they're changing a lot of water, like, and on a good schedule. So as far as price, these things are super cheap. That's what's awesome about red devils. You can pick them up here in the U.S., I should say, anywhere between, if you're looking on the cheaper side, you should buy a juvenile because they're a lot cheaper. I know PetSmart and Petco are the two bigger chains, but they usually sell them for like $20 here in the U.S. And I've seen adults. It's actually, I find it hard to rehome adults because they're such big fish. But that I might just live in a weird spot. And Minnesota kind of sucks for fish keepers. We don't have a lot of them here. As far as food, I have a bunch of other videos on how to feed large cichlids, and you should probably just look into that. And there's also like a gourmet blended food that I buy on Amazon. I'll throw a link in the description. That gourmet food I was talking about on Amazon is a really good deal because it's for large cichlids, and it's 10 different brands of foods mixed in one. That's why I really like it, because variation is the key to a healthy fish. What I'll do is feed those pellets 3 times a week, and then I'll supplement cut up tilapia. Guys, I gotta show off my red devils here. I mean, it's my video, so this is my big boy here. He's got a big hump. He is around a foot long. I have him with a bunch of other male midas, jags. You guys have all seen this predator tank. But for feeding, I will feed, and you can tell this guy within like the last couple months has became insane. And that's why I'm looking at adding 6-foot tanks to this fish room, because I get worried on like what do you do with a big cichlid like that when you're having issues? It really sucks. You can't just throw him in a 40 breeder or something. He needs to have a new home. And essentially, if he's having problems in this tank, the other fish go. So, and he stays. You can tell my green Texas is constantly pushing his limits, and he's super beat up right now. But yeah, feeding, I'll throw a link in the description box to that gourmet food. It's kind of a weird, it is on Amazon, but it's not a Prime seller, which kind of sucks. It takes like a week to get. If I'm ever really low on getting that food specifically, that's what I personally feed, I'll throw in some big Hikari sticks, or I feed the Cichlid Gold is decent. In my opinion, the large pellets still aren't big enough for like this size fish, but they do sell the sticks, which I like a lot more. But what's cool about that gourmet food is it comes with larger like New Life Spectrum sticks. Yeah, you can see like they just splash water right through the tank. All right, guys, Red Devil's awesome fish. Hopefully I answered all those questions. We talked about their teeth, their aggressiveness. If you're trying to figure out tank mates, I have another video. I'll throw a link in the description. All the products I talked about, that food. Get yourself a good canister filter, because this is like big cichlids are serious. They need serious filtration. They have huge bioloads. Get used to doing water changes. Get a water changer. I'll throw links in the description to all this crap that you need. It's actually not as bad as you think. Let me look at this list here. Lifespan, where to buy them, teeth, the price of them, food versus piranha. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. A red devil versus a piranha. I'll let you guys decide that. I'll throw a link in the description. Ugh, I've said that so many times. Comment on what you think. Who would win, the red devil versus the piranha? And equal size fish, obviously. So I think the red devil has a meaner mentality, and I think the piranha would probably, when it's not in a school and it got singled out in the corner, it would get super insecure and just die. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Hit the like button. I never say that, but maybe I should. I don't know, or maybe I shouldn't. Got some beautiful Texas fry in there. I'm done breeding them. I'm done breeding them, guys. All right, later.